Alright guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to be running through 5 examples on using the product rule for derivatives, and we're going to find the derivative of each of these 5 functions. Now, just to remind you that this video is part of a full free course on calculus, so it's available at engineerforfree.com/calculus, and I have about 50 tutorials, each about 5 to 10 minute videos like this one, going through all the different things you would find in calculus 1, starting with functions, limits, derivatives, applications of differentiation, optimization, and integrals. So the link to that is in the description below. If you're studying calculus, definitely recommend checking this out. All right, so let's jump straight into the first example here. When we're using the product rule, we want to apply the product rule to functions that can clearly be split into 2 different functions of x. So what I mean by that is, if you look at here, this function here, 3x to the power of 4 and sine of x, we could talk about those as 2 separate functions of x, and they're multiplied by each other. This is the candidate that we want, because what we want to do is we want to identify f and g, and the derivative of the whole thing is just the derivative of f times g plus f times the derivative of g. This will make sense when we work through this first example, so let's just write it out. So we have, we're going to identify this as f and this one as g, and so the derivative of this is going to be f prime times g plus f times g prime. So we're just going to work through this one step at a time. The derivative of f, we're going to use the power rule for this, so we just bring down the exponent and multiply it by the constant in front, so that gives us 12x to the power of 3 because we subtract 1. So that's f prime, and we multiply it by g, and g is just sine of x. Okay. So then for the second part of this, we're just going to multiply by a regular old f, which is 3x to the power of 4, times the derivative of g. And the derivative of sine of x is cos of x. So just to highlight this again, this here, this is f prime, this is g, and then this is f, and this part here is g prime. So that's exactly what we did. And if you want to give the final answer here to this, we can actually simplify this a little bit. We can pull out the 3x cubed, and what remains is just going to be 4 sine x plus x cos of x. All right, so that is the full derivative. Let's close off that bracket there. This 3x cubed times this stuff is the derivative of the original function, which is 3x to the power of 4 times sine of x. All right, let's do it again. Let's go into example number 2 here. We're going to identify the 2 different parts. So clearly this is going to be the first part that we're going to call f, and this is going to be the second part that we're going to call g. Technically it's f of x and g of x, but it gets really messy if you keep writing that all over the place. So it's going to be a bit faster for us to just drop the x part. So the derivative of this thing is going to be equal to f prime times g plus f times g prime, where prime is the derivative of that kind of sub function. All right, so let's go through and write it out. The derivative of f, so f prime, again, we're going to use the power rule, so this is going to become 10x to the power of 4, and then times g is not changing, so this will be just times ln of x. Then we're going to enter into the second part, so it'll be the function just f as it originally is, so that'll be 2x to the 5 times the derivative of g, so g prime, and that is going to be 1 over x. If you forget the derivative of some of these common items like ln of x or sine of x, I have a table here on the website of some common derivatives that you should know. It's at engineerforfree.com/extras/that stuff. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to check it out. But there are some common things here that you should probably memorize if you're in Calculus 1, so that's where some of these are coming from. But either way, let's just identify what we had done here. So this was f prime, this was g, and this here was f, and this is g prime, or the derivative of g itself. So this is going to simplify just a little bit. The first term will actually stay the same, so 10x to the power of 4 times ln of x. And the second term, this x here is going to cancel out with one of the 5 x's above, and we'll just be left with 2x to the power of 4. Then we have x to the power of 4, and 2 actually is a factor, so we can pull that out. So we're going to have 2x to the power of 4, and inside the brackets we'll just have 5 ln of x plus 1. I just pulled the 2x to the 4 out of this term, that's why there's a 1 remaining, and I pulled the 2x to the 4 out of this term as well, so we'd have to divide 10 by 2 and pull out the x, and that leaves us with a 5 ln x in that term. All right, let's move on to the next one here. So we have sine of x and cos of x multiplied together. We want the derivative of that whole function. So again, we're going to identify this here as f, and we're going to identify this here as g. And we're going to apply the exact same formula here. So the derivative of the whole thing is going to be f prime g plus f g prime. All right, let's go through this really quick. The derivative of sine of x, which is f, is cos of x. Then we multiply that by g, so that's times cos of x. And then the second part over here, we multiply by f, which is sine of x. And the derivative of g, so the derivative of cos, is actually negative sine of x. And again, these are values that you should memorize in Calculus 1, and they are on that table that is linked in the description below. So we're just going to simplify this just ever so slightly and just say that this is equal to cos squared x minus sine squared x. And that is the derivative of our original function, which is d dx sine x cos x. All right, let's move on to the next one. So again, we have two parts here. We have this power function here on the left, and on the right we have an exponential function multiplied to each other. So this is going to be f, and we're going to call this one g. And it's going to be the same format, so it'll be f prime g plus f g prime. That is the derivative of this initial function, which is x to the power of 5 times 12 to the power of x. So let's go ahead and just apply it exactly how we have been doing. So let's take f prime. So for the power function, we're going to bring down the exponent. This will be 5x to the power of 4 times g, which is 12 to the power of x. And then for the second part, we're going to have f, which is x to the power of 5 times g prime. And for exponential functions here, we have 12 to the x, so our answer here is going to be 12 to the x times ln of 12. And again, let's just label on what we did here. So this part is f prime. This part here is g. This part here was f, and this part here was g prime. Now there's a common term in here. There's a 12x in both terms, and there's also at least 4 x's. So let's pull those out, and we'll just pull out x to the 4 times 12 to the power of x. And what's left inside is going to be 5 plus x ln of 12. So that is the derivative of our original function. So d dx of x to the power of 5 times 12 to the x, this over here is the derivative. All right, let's go down a little bit and work on the very last problem here. This one actually has 3 different functions of x that we can identify. So we have 1, 2, and 3. We're going to identify this as f, g, and h, or f of x, g of x, h of x. And you can actually do this for any number of functions of x that are multiplied to each other. With the format, general format is going to stay the same. It's just going to expand out a little bit. So for the first term, in our derivative, it's going to be f prime times g times h. And then for the second one, it's going to be f times g prime times h. And the third term here is going to be f times g times h prime. And you can do this if you had 4 in a row, or if you had 5 in a row. You can just follow this format, and it's going to work for finding the derivative using the product rule. All right, let's try and work through this here without getting too mixed up. So f prime, the derivative of x, is just equal to 1 times g, which is e to the x, times h, which is cos of x. Sweet. That is the first term. For the second term, it's going to be f, which is just an x, times g prime. The derivative of e to the x is e to the x. That's from that same page we've been looking at, link in the description. And then times h, which is cos of x. And then the third term, f is x, times g, which is e to the x, times h prime. And so the derivative of cos of x is negative sine of x. All right, so let's just clean this up a little bit. So this is going to be equal to e to the x cos of x. The second term here is going to be x times e to the x cos of x. And the second term, that negative sign is going to come out, so it's going to be minus x e to the x sine of x. We can simplify this a little bit more by pulling out the e to the x. And I think we can simplify this one more step, so we can just pull out, well, we already had e to the x outside the big brackets, and then we can pull out these cos of x here. So it's going to be cos of x times another set of brackets, so that'll be 1 plus x minus x sine of x. And that is the derivative of this function x e to the x cos of x. So if you ever do see functions here that you're asked to take the derivative of, and you notice that they can be broken out into a few different functions of x multiplied to each other, then definitely follow the product rule. And if you see more than two of them, it's fine. You can just follow the same format, just expanding this out term by term with the same number of terms as there are individual functions of x.